villages that are not marked on maps, where time stands still, and darkness doesn't come only at night. Have you ever heard a knock at the door in the middle of the night, but no one was there? Have you ever left a glass of water on the doorstep, only to find it empty in the morning? Tonight, I'll tell you about such a place called Booondi, where drops of water are not just water, but prayers, where a whisper can bring death. Welcome to Whispers in the Dark, the curse of Booondi village, a story of Namra, the witch, and revenge. The arrival of Namra, the witch, in the small and otherwise peaceful Booondi village. An unsettling event begins to unfold under the cover of night. The villagers begin to whisper among themselves about a mysterious woman who appears from the shadows, an enigmatic figure shrouded in darkness, asking for a simple and seemingly innocent request: water. Yet beneath the surface of her innocent appearance lies a terrible truth that no one can fully comprehend. It begins slowly. Each evening, the woman known to the villagers as the witch arrives at a different household, knocking on their doors with a gentle tap, her voice barely above a whisper as she asks, "May I have some water?" Her presence is unsettling, but her request is so simple and benign that no one could have predicted the horrors that would follow. However, each time she is refused, tragedy strikes. At first, it is dismissed as coincidence, but soon those who turn her away begin to meet gruesome ends. Villagers fall ill, and the bodies of those who refuse to give her water are discovered lifeless, their faces contorted in pain and terror, twisted as if they had been drained of life by an invisible force. Fear spreads like wildfire across the village, and whispers of dark magic begin to circulate. Those who survive start to avoid her, hoping she will leave them alone, but deep down, they know they are not safe. As the death toll rises, it becomes clear that this is no ordinary beggar. Namra is a force far beyond the comprehension of the simple villagers. What they don't know is that her presence is the result of a curse tied to ancient rituals, blood, and a past steeped in betrayal and dark magic. The villagers, desperate to understand what is happening and how they can stop the witch, begin to search for answers. They discover bits and pieces of Namra's story, fragments passed down through generations and whispered in fearful tones by the elders. Namra was once a beautiful young woman who lived in the very village where she now brings terror. Once kind-hearted, she had been an innocent soul loved by all. But everything changed when she was falsely accused of witchcraft. In the old days, the village was ruled by powerful elders who believed in strict adherence to traditions. When a series of mysterious deaths occurred in the village, the elders became suspicious and blamed Namra. They claimed that she was the source of the evil that had befallen the village, accusing her of using dark magic to curse the people. Despite her innocence, the village's leaders decided to punish her. In a desperate attempt to prove her innocence, Namra performed a ritual involving pia's onions, a key element in black magic rituals known to summon spirits and cast curses. The ritual, however, went terribly wrong. Instead of summoning spirits to protect her, the ritual bound Namra's soul to the world of the living, turning her into something far worse than a mere witch. The power of the ritual twisted her into a vengeful spirit, cursed to live in torment for eternity, and bound by the very forces she had hoped to control. The elders who had sentenced her to death had unknowingly set the stage for her return, had been wronged, and her soul, filled with rage and vengeance, was set on a course of destruction. Now, as the curse unfolds with each passing day, villagers begin to realize that they are not dealing with a mere witch, but with a spirit trapped between life and death, one whose vengeance is swift and merciless. Namra's desire for revenge knows no bounds, and her method of bringing death is chillingly simple. She asks for water. Anyone who fails to comply with her request will die in agonizing pain, their bodies twisted by the curse that has bound her. As Namra's power grows stronger, the village becomes a place of fear and suspicion. The villagers start to isolate themselves from each other, fearing that even the slightest interaction with the witch could lead to their doom. Despite their fear, a handful of villagers gather together, determined to break the curse that has plagued them for so long. They seek help from an old scholar, a man who has spent his life studying ancient magic and rituals. The scholar reveals to them that Namra's curse can only be undone if they can discover the truth behind her death, confront the wrongs that were done to her, and right the injustices that caused her to become the vengeful spirit she is today. But time is running out. The village is slowly being drained of its population, and with each passing day, Namra grows stronger, feeding on the fear and pain that she has created. With the scholar's knowledge in hand, the villagers attempt to perform counter-rituals and magic to stop the curse. But no matter what they do, their efforts are in vain. Namra's power is too great, and their rituals only seem to enrage her further. The curse spreads like wildfire, consuming everything in its path. One by one, the villagers who once resisted her are found dead, their bodies marked by the same twisted, agonized expression that has come to symbolize Namra's wrath. The villagers become desperate, realizing that they may not survive unless they find a way to make peace with the witch. Some attempt to plead with her, offering themselves as sacrifices in the hope that she will show mercy, but Namra's thirst for vengeance is unyielding. She cares not for the lives of those who now grovel before her, for her anger is beyond reason. There is no mercy, no forgiveness in her heart. All she wants is revenge on the village that betrayed her. In the final moments of the story, hope rests on Delari, a young woman who has become the focal point of the villagers' last attempt to break the curse. Delari has developed a unique bond with Namra, having met her in a moment of fear and compassion. The villagers, knowing that Delari's purity and innocence might be the key to breaking the curse, beg her to confront Namra. Delari decides to take matters into her own hands. She offers herself as a sacrifice, believing that by doing so, she can free the village from the witch's grip. She approaches Namra in the dead of night, trembling but resolute. In a final act of bravery, Delari offers her life, pleading with the witch to lift the curse and allow the village to live in peace once more. However, Namra, her hatred undying, does not relent. She sees Delari's act of sacrifice as an affront to her power, an attempt to strip her of her control in a moment of sheer rage. Namra strikes down Delari, taking her life without hesitation. Delari's death marks the final, tragic chapter in the villagers' struggle to survive. With Delari's death, the village is consumed by despair. The curse has claimed its final victim, and there is no hope left for the villagers. They are left to wander in fear, knowing that they too will one day face the same fate. Namra's power, however, begins to wane as the curse reaches its end. She no longer feeds on fear. Instead, her soul is slowly consumed by the very magic she once controlled. Some say that Namra's spirit is finally freed, her vengeance fulfilled, and that she is allowed to pass on to the afterlife. Others believe that her soul is doomed to wander forever. Unable to find peace, the villagers are left to wonder if there was any way they could have stopped her, or if their fates were sealed long before the witch ever arrived. After Delari's death, Booondi village falls into an eerie stillness. The once lively village square is now silent. No children's laughter echoes in the alleyways. No smoke rises from chimneys. People remain, but they are shadows of themselves, haunted, hollow, uncertain whether they are survivors or merely witnesses to something far darker than death. Namra is no longer seen. Her nightly visits cease, and the water jugs once left at every doorstep now remain untouched. But no one dares to remove them. The villagers don't know if she's truly gone or merely watching, waiting. A few brave elders gather at the old banyan tree near the temple, where Namra was once falsely condemned. They perform a final ritual not to banish her, but to speak to her. They light lamps and place offerings of water, peas, and marigold flowers, whispering apologies and prayers not of fear, but of guilt. They speak Namra's name out loud, something no one has dared to do in generations. That night, the village is wrapped in fog. Some say they heard a voice on the wind, a woman, sighing, then weeping, and then silence. When morning comes, the jugs are all empty, not spilled, not stolen, just as if someone finally drank the water. Namra has not been seen since. Years pass, new families move into the village, children play again. Life returns, but every household in Booondi still places a small cup of water at the door each night out of respect or fear. No one ever forgets, and when children ask about the cup, the elders simply whisper, "She was thirsty once. We must never let her be again."